Sorry, Akshay, your voice is little bit slow. Can you come again?
In memory computing feature, if there
Uh-huh.
is data duplication is carried out,
Data replication, duplication.
duplication, right?
Yes, yes, yes. There will be some duplication because you are storing the same data in RAM also and same data in hard disk also. But the benefit is because the data is directly available in RAM, although this is duplicate data, good thing is you don't need to unnecessarily go to ROM again and again because this traveling time. So you are processing a transaction, you are asking RAM to do something. RAM is saying, I don't have the data, I need to go to RAM, I need to pick the data, and then my transaction will be processed. So that time can be reduced. There is definitely the duplication, but this duplication is for the benefit.
Vikram, I have a
Yes.
question. You mentioned the locking. That's correct. What I agree with GUI, right? But in Fury, is that the same case? Or because it's a
There is
OData service call, only, right? How
no, no, no.
will it lock the people in the back?
Okay. See, Raj, irrespective of whether you are using Fiori or you are using the GUI,
Hmm.
ultimately the OData service is also calling the ABAP objects in the background. So ABAP objects are common in the background. So whatever
Yeah.
BAPI bodies are used for
Yes.
old UI, same BAPIs and bodies would be used even if you use Fiori also. So that is
Yes.
common. What I'm saying is common.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. But then I'm doing a read first and then do a update next, right? So if two users are using a sales order update, it will go in the sequential queuing, right? Say, for example, one person updates first and the second update goes next. It will go, I think, or maybe I'm just asking.
You are saying the same object, same sales order you want to update two persons, right?
Yeah, because yeah, my understanding is it two reads. So two OData call will read and two users are going to do an update. In that scenario, the update, say user one updates first, there will be no lock because the user one will first update. Simultaneously, it can never happen in the Fury, I think. So the object the NQDQ lock shouldn't happen technically, but I am just asking, is it will happen or no? Because technically it shouldn't happen, right?
You are okay. See, Raj, the thing is,
Yeah.
you're talking about the scenario in which you are updating the same sales orders from two different user IDs. Let's say
Yes.
I am also trying to update the same sales order. You are also trying to update the same sales. In this
Yeah.
particular case, when I open the Fiori application and if I go to change sales order, if I'm already in change sales order application and if I'm already changing that particular sales order, system will even not allow you to go to change sales order screen, even from Fiori also.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. I was thinking it will
Right?
allow.
Same
Okay.
behavior. Yeah, yeah, same behavior as GUI. So even GUI also, if I'm already changing a particular sales order, and if you try to change the same sales order, you will get an error that this sales order is locked by another user. So till the time I don't save that transaction or I don't come out of that screen, till that time system will not allow you to go to that screen at all.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about project methodology. Okay, or you can call it as the implementation methodology. What exactly is implementation methodology? See, whenever you are going to implement SAP, okay, SAP ECC or SAP S4HANA or SAP R3, whatever different products SAP has, if you want to go for the implementation, SAP recommends to follow the methodology, which means you should know what exactly I should do first, what should I do next, how can I verify that all the activities in my projects have been completed. So SAP provides you the list of all those activities that you need to carry out in order to complete your implementation project. So when we were using SAP R3, when we were using SAP ECC, so SAP was recommending us to use SAP ASAP methodology, SAP ASAP. Okay, what exactly it stands for? It is nothing but accelerated SAP. What do you mean by accelerated SAP? It itself means accelerated means what? Accelerate means speed. So if you want to implement SAP and if you want to accelerate the process of implementing SAP, you don't want to unnecessarily waste time on non-productive activities. So use this accelerated SAP methodology, which will help you in implementing your SAP faster. Okay, so SAP ASAP methodology was recommended for implementing SAP R3 and SAP ECC projects. So is the recommended methodology. Now, after SAP S4HANA came into the picture, starting from 2015 onwards, SAP recommends SAP Activate. So for SAP S4HANA projects, whenever you are implementing SAP S4HANA, the recommended methodology from SAP is SAP Activate. Okay, so this is important to understand what exactly is SAP and how Activate is better. Obviously, SAP's Activate is better. That is the reason SAP came up with a new methodology. Otherwise, SAP could have told you follow SAP ASAP itself in S4HANA. So when they came up with the new methodology, definitely there will be some benefits over SAP ASAP methodology. So we need to understand the difference between these two. And at the end of the session today, you should be very clear with the answers. What is SAP methodology? What are the phases in SAP methodology? What exactly you do in each and every phase of SAP? How Activate is better? What are the different phases in Activate? So these kind of questions should be very clear in your mind. So before I go in detail and talk about these two methodologies, let's talk a very simple example. Let's take a very simple example where you are a consultant and you want to implement or you want to develop a new software. Okay, let's assume I have given you the task to develop a software for my company. What is my company? Let's say my company is providing the trainings and I want you to develop a software where I'll be able to capture all my students. I'll be able to capture all the courses. I'll be able to capture all the fees that I collected. I'll be able to capture all the different reports. So this is my requirement and I asked you to create a software. So what you will do, what would be your first thing that you need to do before you actually start developing the software? So that is the reason I'm explaining you something called as SDLC, which is normally used in the software industry. Okay, which stands for Software Development Life Cycle.
Hello,
Okay, so
Vikram.
yes, Deepak.
Vikram, I can see only your GoToMeeting screen. Is that right?
Is
I
it?
can't
What
see.
about other?
I can't see the other screen where you are typing.
No, it is
What about
visible.
other?
I can see your PDF. I mean, what do you call this?
Details come.
Presentation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Deepak. So just log off and log in again.
Okay, I do that. Thank you.
Okay, request all of you to go on mute. Yeah. So I will just explain you what is SDLC. Okay, so maybe before I go into the details of SDLC, I want you to tell me what do you think, how a software can be developed. Okay, just think that you are in place of developing the software. What are the different activities that you need to carry out in order to complete the software? Where will you start? I just told you I need a software for my company. What would be your first question?
Requirement.
Anyone who knows? Yeah, Saurabh, you're saying requirement. First of all, you will gather the requirements from me, right?
Correct.
Okay, you will come to me, you will say, okay, I know you want to create a software, but can you tell me what exactly you want to see in the software? How you want to see the software? What are the different areas that you want to capture? Can you tell me what fields you want to capture? In the student master data, what are the different fields? What information I need to capture? In the courses master data, what exactly I need to capture? Okay, so these are some of the questions which you need to ask to your customer before you start developing the software. So number one is requirement. Okay. Now let's assume you already got the requirement. What you will do next? You already know what needs to be done. So what you will do next? If you already know the requirements and you are already good in coding, what you will do?
Development.
You start developing it, right? You start, maybe if you are a developer, you will start developing or coding. If you are not the developer, you will ask your development team to start developing the software, right? So next is you will develop. Okay, so you got the requirement. Now you start developing. Once the development has been completed, or maybe parallelly, I'm not saying the development is 100% completed, then only you will go to the next stage. Once the development is somehow completed, what you will do next?
We missed the design phase, Vikram.
Requirement is different. Requirement
Yes.
gathering, right?
Design and develop we can make it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'll come to that. So SAP terminologies I'll come. So I'm just talking about SDLC as of now. Requirement gathering, I think, is part of design phase itself. Okay. Once you develop, what will you do next?
Test.
You'll definitely test it, right? Whether it is working or not. Okay, and let's assume you tested everything, it is working fine. What you will do next?
Deploy.
Deploy. Deploy means you will ask the customer that I am deploying this, I am giving this to you, and I am activating all the functionalities, and you start using it. So once you deploy, next is
Support.
once you
Maintenance or continuous usage and maintenance.
yes. So start using the software, run the software, and regular maintenance. Okay. Now, one thing before you start the requirement in any project, it starts with the planning. You need to start with the planning. You have to first do the planning, what exactly you want to do, what software you want to build, who's the team who will be responsible for working on this software, right? So there is a planning activity that you need to carry out. Then you will go for the requirement gathering. Based on the requirement gathering, you will start developing the software. Once the software is developed, you will start testing it. Once the testing has been completed, you will deploy. And once the deployment phase has been completed, you will start running the software. So any software, it can be SAP, non-SAP, any software, this is a normal software development life cycle. Okay, now maybe if you do Google, you will be able to find design also as a part of this one. So, but these are the high level activities that I have written. You can also create, maybe you can divide requirement gathering also in two parts. Maybe you can test also, you can divide into 2 3 parts. So one is the testing that you as a developer are doing. Second is the UAT. So there are a lot of other activities which can come in between. But overall, if I give you the higher picture, these are the important activities that you need to carry out in any software development cycle. So it is SAP, Oracle, or any different ERP that you are implementing, or any small software that you are implementing. It should start with the planning. You will gather the requirements. Based on the requirements, you will develop the software. You will perform the test. If everything is working fine, you will deploy, and then your business will start using it, and you would be participating in the regular maintenance, which means the normal support activity. So once the user will start running the software, then only the support part will come into the picture. So this is nothing but your regular support. So this is how any software works. SAP is not different. SAP is also going to follow the same thing. So what I'll do is I will add another slide, and here I will enter a table so that we can compare all these things that we have just now written between SDLC, SAP, and Activate. Okay, so this is nothing. So what are these called as? Planning, requirement, develop, test, deploy, and all. These are called as phases in the project. These are different phases in the project. Okay, so which are the different phases? We identified the phase as prepare,